Welcome into Pro Football Daily. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thank you so much for being here on Monday, May 22nd. Right now, we are talking 27-year-old running back Dalvin Cook. There are a few signs pointing to a potential Vikings and Dalvin Cook breakup here. And one of the teams with reported interest in Dalvin Cook, his services, is the Miami Dolphins. Of course, there's a lot of social media stuff going into this. The Vikings removed Dalvin Cook from their Twitter header. Dalvin has been talking about his worth on Instagram stories. And then there's the obvious cap savings that the Vikings would get from moving on from Dalvin Cook, either releasing him with a post-June 1 designation or finding a trade partner, whatever it may be. You kind of understand why teams at the back end of some of these running back contracts that are big running back contracts want to pivot. They can save money. They can get cheaper. I get it. Personally, if I was the Vikings, I feel I'm in a Super Bowl window potentially. I'm a team trying to make the playoffs again, win divisions, make it to the Super Bowl. I'm probably not trying to move on from Dalvin Cook, but I do get it. So I started thinking about, where would he make sense? Like what other offenses would look like with Dalvin Cook in the mix? And I just kept coming back to the Miami Dolphins. And if the Miami Dolphins, who do have reported interest in Dalvin Cook, are able to land him, whether it's via trade or picking him up after he's released, the rest of the AFC should be absolutely terrified if that happens. He'd become the lead back on an offense that already features Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Devon Achane, a lot of speed in that backfield. If you're not familiar with Devon Achane, rookie out of Texas A&M, unbelievable track speed, but he's a running back too now. Even though he's only 185 pounds, he knows how to run with the football. He runs with a little more physicality than you expect for such a small runner. I'm not saying that the Dolphins absolutely need Dalvin Cook, and I don't think they need him to be an effective offense. They're going to be an effective offense in 2023. They've also got two of the very most dangerous receivers on the planet, Tyreek Hill, Cheetah, Jalen Waddle, two of the fastest guys on the planet playing receiver for them. One of the fastest backfields in the league right now. And the key for them is going to be Tua's health, right? Obviously. If they want to go on a long playoff run, they need Tua to stay healthy. But if this team lands Dalvin Cook, they will immediately be one of the most dangerous offenses in the league, which they already are. But I think you're talking about probably an offense right now that maybe borderline top 5 in the league, depending on Tua's health. I think you add Dalvin Cook into that mix, the sky's the limit for what they could be. And when you talk about the NFL, it's a matchup league. How do you match up with those receivers and the gravity that they bring to the football field, and then also account for Dalvin Cook? Because yes, there is talent in that backfield in Miami, but nobody in that backfield has the same level of talent as a Dalvin Cook. He is still an absolute burner at this stage in his career. He's still finishing off runs, still not getting caught from behind, still leaving people grasping at air. He's also a run finisher, as I mentioned, right? A guy who not only brings the speed, but is able to break tackles at the end and finish runs in the end zone. Tremendous lateral quickness, explosiveness, and long speed, as I mentioned. Like I said, a little bit of power to break through some of those tackles. He forces missed tackles at an extremely high level. I think with his speed and the impact he can make out of the backfield as a receiver as well, and the little bit of physicality that he brings to your backfield that might not necessarily be there, I think he's a perfect fit. And he's coming off his first fully healthy season of his career, which of course, that is an issue. Injuries have been an issue for Dalvin Cook, and generally speaking, there are issues at the running back position, more so than some other positions. But Dalvin Cook on your team gives you a much better chance to not only finish out individual games because he's your best running back, and I think he can run with the most power behind his pads and finish runs, finish drives. But he's also bringing you more explosiveness, more speed to the table, and just a better overall football player than anyone else you have in your backfield. And now he is a gravity well. Tyreek Hill is a gravity well. Jalen Waddle is a gravity well. And you just don't know how to stop them defensively. I think it would be really difficult because you saw teams trying to eliminate space down the stretch against the Dolphins last year, which was their goal, was to create as much space as possible with all this speed on the field, right? Teams started trying to eliminate their ability to create space. And so you saw Mike McDaniels shifting to a more under center running game. I think Mike McDaniels with Dalvin Cook could find even more success in ways to pivot on offense for the Miami Dolphins. And they don't have to pivot for Dalvin Cook to be exceptional in their offense. He's perfect, tailor-made for what they run, like outside zone, all that fun stuff. Dalvin has the speed, has the ability to be really effective, and he has been effective in that type of running scheme in the past. So I think Dalvin Cook added to this offense, regardless of how much it'll cost the Dolphins, which they probably would have to do a little bit of maneuvering cap-wise, which is okay. Teams always have the ability to maneuver cap-wise. Always, always, always. So if they're looking at 2023, 2024 as seasons in which they can push for a division title, for a Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl run, then I think they should absolutely be considering Dalvin Cook because, yes, the running back position is devalued, but when you talk about making your offense unstoppable, with Tua as the trigger man, with those dangerous receivers, with a backfield that would be one of the, it would be the most dangerous in the league potentially, right up there at the top. This offense could go from, in my opinion, a top 3 to 5 offense to potentially the best offense in the game in 2023. They've got the mastermind calling the plays. They've got a good quarterback, assuming Tua's health, and then they've got the most dangerous group of skill position players in the league. You drop Dalvin Cook into that mix, Mike McDaniel would be cooking. Pun intended. I apologize. Then you add in the fact that the Dolphins, they landed Vic Fangio this offseason. They already have a lot of talent on defense, and they brought in Jalen Ramsey. It could be one hell of a season in South Florida, regardless of if Dalvin Cook lands there or not. But with Dalvin Cook's presence, they would be even more difficult to deal with in 2023. And yes, Dalvin Cook is from Miami, Florida. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Means a lot. This channel we just started last week. Please like and subscribe. Means a lot to us. Not able to do this without you guys tuning in, obviously. You can also follow myself on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a show on here. Drop a comment. Get some engagement here on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday.